Hey, travel lovers! Welcome back. Today, we're diving into the most destinations you absolutely need to visit. But before we jet off, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on our travel adventures. Have you ever been to a place that felt like stepping into a different world? A place where history, nature, and beauty collide in ways that make you feel like you're walking through a storybook? Well, that's exactly what my trip to Normandy felt like. From towering sea cliffs to medieval castles, Normandy has a special kind of magic. So today, let's take a journey through my top 10 unforgettable spots in this remarkable region of France. Let's begin where my adventure started, Étretat. Imagine a coastal town with dramatic cliffs that rise sharply from the sea, the kind of place where you feel the power of nature all around you. When I first arrived in Étretat, it was the sea cliffs that drew me in. Walking through the town, I could hear the waves crashing in the distance, but nothing prepared me for the sight of those towering cliffs. They're massive, carved by centuries of wind and water, with iconic sea arches that stretch out into the ocean. We climbed up to the top of the cliffs and found ourselves rewarded with panoramic views of the coast. And if you're ever there, stay for the sunset. It bathes the cliffs in a golden light that's simply breathtaking. Not far from Étretat is the quaint port town of Fécamp. Just a 20-minute drive away, it's a hidden gem with a lighthouse that stands proudly against the backdrop of the sea. I spent some time wandering along the beach, watching the waves roll in and out, and admiring the serenity of the place. It's peaceful, with a small-town charm that's hard to beat. From there, we journey inland to Honfleur. If I had to describe Honfleur in one word, it would be timeless. It's the kind of town that feels like it hasn't changed much in centuries. The colorful houses lining the old port could easily be part of a painting. And as night falls and the lights flicker on, the whole town feels like a scene from a fairy tale. Walking along the port at dusk, I felt like I was in a dream. Our journey then took us to Rouen, Normandy's capital. Stepping into Rouen feels like traveling back in time. The medieval architecture, the cobblestone streets, and the sense of history that surrounds you are palpable. Now, before we unveil the next place, if you're loving this content, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know if you want more travel inspo. One of Rouen's most famous landmarks is its astronomical clock, built in 1389. To think that clock has been ticking for over 600 years. It's a humbling reminder of the rich history that runs through this city. It was also here, in Rouen, where Joan of Arc was burned at the stake, and standing in that very spot was a surreal experience. Next, we ventured up the Seine River to visit Chateau Gallard. Perched on a hill overlooking the river, this 12th century fortress offers some of the best views in Normandy. As I stood there, gazing out over the landscape, I couldn't help but imagine the battles and sieges that had taken place there centuries ago. Now, Normandy is known for its history, but nowhere is that more evident than at the D-Day beaches. Omaha Beach, in particular, left a lasting impression on me. Standing on that serene stretch of sand, it's hard to believe that nearly 80 years ago, it was the site of one of the largest and most brutal battles of World War II. The Normandy American Cemetery, located just above the beach, is a solemn reminder of the sacrifices made. Walking among the rows of white crosses, perfectly aligned, it's impossible not to reflect on the courage and bravery of the soldiers who gave their lives for freedom. Not far from Omaha Beach is Pointe du Hoc, another key site in the D-Day invasion. This cliffside promontory was heavily fortified by the Nazis and later stormed by Allied forces. Today, the craters from the bombardment are still visible, and walking among them is like stepping into history. I even climbed inside one of the old bunkers, trying to imagine what it must have been like for the soldiers back then. Our next stop took us to Arromanches-les-Bains, where the remnants of the Mulberry harbors still stand. These artificial harbors were vital in the D-Day landings, allowing Allied forces to offload supplies quickly. At low tide, you can walk out and explore the remains, an incredible testament to human ingenuity. Heading west, we arrived at Utah Beach, the westernmost of the D-Day beaches. It's quieter here with fewer visitors, and I loved the simplicity of the landscape. Grass-covered dunes, gentle waves, and a few remaining bunkers scattered along the shoreline. There's also a great museum nearby that dives deep into the history of the invasion. And finally, our journey ends at Mont Saint-Michel, the crown jewel of Normandy. This tidal island is like something out of a fantasy novel. You can't drive up to it, so we walked the 4 kilometers from the mainland, and with each step, the island grew larger, looming like a castle from a different era. The abbey at the top is stunning, massive stone arches and grand halls that seem to whisper the stories of the monks who lived there. And when the tide comes in, surrounding the island with water, it's like watching magic unfold before your eyes. Normandy is more than just a region. It's a place where history, beauty, and nature come together in a way that leaves a lasting mark on anyone who visits. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on discovering more breathtaking destinations. And if you loved this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment telling us which place you'd love to explore next. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.